Ethiopian coffee has been considered top-tier coffee, beans, and even with that value-added branded coffees in different cafes, restaurants, and outlets across the globe. And now, for this edition of CEOs, I have Muna, an Ethio-Canadian blend. I can say that, right?
850 Coffee, yeah.
850 Coffee. So you're the founder and CEO of 850 Coffee. But before we get into that, I would like to know who Muna was before 850 Coffee. I've heard a little bit about you, you know, like you're in branding, marketing. You have a very wide portfolio in that as well. You were top 10 global brands by Wall Street Journal, your coffee brand. So we'll dive into that, all of that conversation in detail in a short while. But let's talk about your roots first. You're Ethiopian Canadian. Were you born or raised here?
Born here, not raised here. I was actually raised in Toronto, Canada. And I had the opportunity to come and visit here actually right after I graduated college. And for the last almost 20 years, I've just been coming regularly and visiting family. And of course, now being in the coffee industry, coming more frequently for work.
Okay. So like how was like college or universities, I will always ask this our entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Like is where you form your personality or you're like you find yourself.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about being, you know, like have you ever thought you'd be in the coffee industry when you went to college?
You know, not necessarily the coffee industry. My path was to get into the communications, marketing, and branding sector. I really gravitated to being in that industry. I really enjoyed the creative aspect. I enjoyed the strategy aspect, creating campaigns, working with agencies and creating commercials and ads. You know, marketing was really an area of interest for me for a very long time. I wanted to, you know, work as an advertising executive. So that was really my thought process. And coffee came after my initial trip to Ethiopia, actually.
Oh, when was that? When, like the year?
2008. So
2008?
Yeah, 2008. I came here. I had an opportunity to meet my extended family, and then I got a chance to just tour the different coffee farms and be in some of the rural areas in Ethiopia. And that was really an opportunity for me to see coffee firsthand. It was very, I have to say, it was very humbling because as much as being Ethiopian and being exposed to the coffee culture, the coffee growing aspect was something that I didn't understand fully. And when I got to see it firsthand, it really put everything into perspective for me in terms of how it grows, where it grows, you know, all the work that's put into, you know, growing the coffee. And so it was definitely a very humbling experience. And that actually led me to think about coffee after that experience and think about coffee from a business standpoint and how I can contribute to the industry.
Okay. Are you a morning coffee person? Do you drink coffee?
What is
the first thing? Is the first thing you do grab a cup of coffee?
It is. So
Okay.
I absolutely love water as well. I drink a lot of water, but the first thing I do is water and coffee. Those two go hand in hand for me. It is definitely top of the morning, and I have it black.
You have it black.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
any decent, you know, coffee business owner or
Yeah.
coffee exporter will always say you should never mix coffee with anything, not even sugar. You should just
Not even sugar.
actually have it black. I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
So defining moments in your life, probably, you know, working, advertising, but mentors or people that really have impacted your life, and one of the biggest lessons that you have learned from that person, if you can say.
I mean, so many people have poured into me, actually. I've been really fortunate to have a career before getting into coffee. I spent almost 15 years in the marketing and branding sector before I ventured into starting my own business. And through that journey, I had several women who poured into me in those industries. And then, of course, when I got into coffee, there were many women who were in the industry way before me who have welcomed me into the industry, industry, women and leaders in coffee, one in particular from the US that is someone that I look up to and has been a great source of resource and inspiration, Phyllis Johnson. She's the president of the Coffee Coalition for Racial Equity based in Atlanta, Georgia. Sarah, who is the former president of the IWCA Ethiopia chapter, and also with the Women in Coffee in Ethiopia. She is just phenomenal. So amazing women all across the world, women in Ethiopia that work in coffee. So the women in coffee from Ethiopia, those are all women that since I've been in the industry have welcomed me in and have poured into me, and I'm so grateful to have that.
Okay. I mean, if you can, in life, when you go through, tens of years of experience in branding and marketing, now 6 years in 850 Coffee, you learn lessons. What is the biggest lesson you've learned in life?
The biggest lesson I have to say in life and in business is to have community. It is really important to surround yourself with people who are inspiring, who encourage you, who motivate you to do well, and who can also help you. I think oftentimes when you're building, especially a business and as an entrepreneur, you tend to sometimes be isolated and work alone, and it takes a while for you to be able to connect with people or work in community. But I think it was one of the best things that I did. It allowed me to make all the right contacts and build strong connections and relationships. Building relationship, I think, is one of the most important things, whether it's in life or career.
I got you. All right. So let's get into your first job after college. What was it?
Okay, first job after college. First job after college, I worked for an insurance company for a short period, but my main first job after college was actually for a law firm. I worked as I was a marketing coordinator for them, and I ended up staying for, I don't know, maybe 8 years after that.
Wow.
I ended up being their head of marketing by the time I left. It was actually a very interesting job because personal injury in Canada and the US, they rely heavily on advertising and marketing, and I worked primarily on promoting their firm.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did that sit? I mean, marketing professional or marketing a very particular field of study is very different from marketing a brand. Any product is a product, and you brand it and you market it. But especially with lawyers, there is a certain type of misguided perception, let me say, because I'm a lawyer as well.
Okay. That's awesome.
Misperception where ambulance chasers and solicitation
that's exactly
they're like regarded in a very different manner. So how do you market that?
It was actually, it's one of those jobs and points in my life that I value and I remember all the time. It was such an exhilarating experience working in that sector because there was always something new and there was always something different happening. We primarily were focused on TV commercials, billboard placements, actually quite a bit. So we did a lot of digital, we did a lot of sponsorship. So when you think about like sporting events, all the big national teams and in our city, sponsored any of the major also local events that were happening. But it was really a matter of understanding the category because, personal injury was the one that I was working in. It's something that happens to everyone all the time, whether it's an accident or a slip and fall or if it's catastrophic. There were many areas of the work that we were catering to, and it was a matter of being able to use the right media to get the brand name out there. And at the time when we had started, it wasn't, we weren't doing marketing. Legal marketing wasn't it wasn't a major thing in Canada at that time. It is now. It was much more prominent in the US. You would see it everywhere.
Billboards, bus benches.
Oh yeah, I mean, and that was, when I had started in that category, there were very few people who actually had an in-house marketing person. I was probably one of like maybe two at the time in the city, and I mean now, you can't have, every firm has somebody, and of course they always have external agencies, but as an internal person, it's become much more, it's a standard practice now in the industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you love about branding and marketing that you spent, probably years and years of your career in that? What makes your heart tick about branding and marketing?
For me, I really enjoy the strategy part. I love being able to put together a campaign. I love understanding how we can take an idea and bring it to life. And really the whole process. I mean, strategy I love, but I also love the creative process because that's the part of the process that allows the product or the brand to really shine. So, really working across the entire campaign project, all those things make me shine. And of course, when we're able to bring something to market and to see what the traction is and what the response is something that's always makes me happy.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
How has that helped you in creating 850 Coffee? That was the segue for now. Let's jump into the coffee.
850.
Yeah. So how did that help you in creating? Because working in branding and marketing will give you so many tools, so many, even like clients that have gone back and forth, your reverts, everything.
Right.
That was, life was hell with this client.
Yeah.
You can say that.
Yeah.
And then it becomes your own brand that you have to brand, that you have to market, that you have to create a brand identity across all the pillars.
Yeah.
How did that help you creating 850 Coffee, and how strong of a brand it has become is strongly related to that?
It helped me tremendously. I have to say, because I had that experience, it allowed me to build a brand and navigate the space of brand, and it helped me navigate the space of being a new entrepreneur in a category that's so saturated, right? So I really took everything that I learned over that last 15 years and started to think about how I could implement it into my own business. And I talked to you about relationships before, and creating relationships and how important it is. I tapped into those relationships that I built over the years. I was able to reach out not only for guidance but for direction, and also saying, hey, I now own this company, so this is where you can reach me. And it was important to do that because when you build those good relationships, whether you move on into a completely different sector, people want to continue to work with you because it's not just where you worked, and it's about who you are as well, and people want to continue having that relationship with you. So it helped me tremendously because I knew how to build a brand and I knew how to bring something to market, and I applied everything I learned and brought it into my own business.
Right. Like in my introduction, I actually mentioned that you were, a top 10 global brands, put together by Wall Street Journal. How did that happen, and after how many years did that recognition happen?
That actually happened very early on. It happened 2.5 years after we launched, and it was. How it happened was we got an email. That was as simple as that. We got an email that said, hey, we'd like to try your coffees. Can you send a sample so that our judge of coffee professionals can try them? And we're doing an article on the top 10 best global brands, and we'd like for you to submit your sample so that we can try it. I did it, sent it off, and then about 2 months later, I received an email saying that I was selected as one of the 10 best global brands, and they wanted to feature my business in the article that they were publishing.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what were the criteria, if I may ask?
The criteria, they were the coffee professionals were all judges, so they were tasting all the coffees that were submitted to them. So in terms of flavor profile, origin, they wanted something unique and something that would be that they could talk about in the article, so that they could let consumers know, this is great coffee and you should try it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the first? Oh, okay. So sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, although this came via email, I know that it was somebody that said you should check out, you should consider this company. So again, it's through that relationship building of people mentioning your name, because they know that you're there, they know the work that you're doing. So making sure that you communicate what you're doing, and that you're people know that you have this company, and that you're vocal about and clear about your business is important.
Nice. What was the first, business unit or point that you established for 850 Coffee?
For us, it was because we are a consumer packaged goods, so we're in the CPG category. For us, it was online, and through online, we cater to the B2C, so it was direct to consumer. But of course, we also do B2B, and that was what we worked on after, is creating corporate accounts and attracting corporate clients and business as well through other categories like food service.
Sourcing in coffee is a very, very, very crucial point. How do you source your coffee?
I source it from a few different places. So of course, I source my coffee from Ethiopia, but I also source from other parts of the world, South and Central America, Peru, Nicaragua, Brazil, Colombia. It is a matter of a few things. So I either work directly with an exporter or with a small a small farmer, directly with the farmer or with an exporter at the country of origin. And the sourcing, the part of the sourcing that is important is understanding the type of coffee that you're looking for, and making sure that first you're asking for samples, and then you're cupping them, and then just making a decision on whether or not you'd like to get that coffee for the next harvest season or for your new fiscal year.
How does Ethiopian coffee compete or stand against different kinds of coffee blends across different parts of the world?
I mean, it stands tall. It is
Nice.
it is the #1 coffee, but it definitely is. It's exceptional. I think the world knows it's an exceptional coffee. Of course, I think it's the best coffee, but Ethiopian coffee is highly regarded, and as it should. It is such a unique, being the birthplace of coffee, we have such unique flavor profiles and varietals from all sorts of coffee growing regions right here in the country. So it definitely stands as the best, and we're able to see that because we see it being served all over the world.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
How many product categories do you have? Do you have it in beans, roasted, blended? What kind of product categories?
That's a good question, because we do have them. We have it roasted. Coffee for us arrives. It's green coffee that is imported to me, and then we roast it and then package it for retail. But we also have other product lines that we've incorporated our coffee in, so that we could kind of extend our product lineup. And it was important for me to think of my business and my brand as a lifestyle coffee company, so that we can take coffee and see how we can think about it beyond the bean. So it's actually incorporated in some of our additional products. So we've done products like the coffee shea butter soap. We've done we also launched a ready to drink beverage. So we worked with coffee byproducts and the cascara, hashara. So we've taken coffee and thought about it in different ways. We've also done a little bit with textiles and incorporating even some of the lines that the collections that we've selected that are dyed with coffee. So really trying to see how we can incorporate coffee in many ways.
That's great.
And showing the versatility of how you can utilize coffee.
I got you.
Yeah.
So how about your leadership skills? I want to get into that because running a business, coming from being an employed to self-employed, running a business, it requires different skills.
It does, yeah.
Right? So what kind of leadership philosophies do you use when you work with your employees, with your team, with your staff?
My philosophy is really showing up and doing your best. I think it's important to create a culture that is welcoming, but one that also values collaboration. I think that has always been one of my main focuses with my team is to encourage collaboration. I don't know everything and I don't want to know I want to have the right people on my team that can contribute with their ideas. So it's so important that you build that type of culture that is welcoming so that people can feel comfortable to help you grow and to also ensure that they're putting their best work forward every day when they come to work.
Okay. Uncertainties are like very common in the business world. COVID was one of them, definitely. So how do you deal with uncertainties? How do you plan? How do you probably put together a strategy in absorbing the shock of uncertainties in the world economy? Because coffee is highly dependent on global economy.
It is, and we've seen a lot of uncertainty in the last few years, and most recently with tariffs. For me, it was a matter, and I think for a lot of people, was understanding how to diversify the business that you're in. That's what I looked at. Yes, green bean coffee and roasting the coffee and retailing it is our main area of focus. But I also needed to think about how else can we continue to be in coffee when there are those uncertainties. And for me, it was about focusing on sustainability. And that's part of why I ended up launching an RTD, ready-to-drink beverage line that allowed me to still stay in coffee, but to think about coffee more in a circular way. So that has allowed me it's opened a completely set of new doors, because although it is it is made from coffee byproduct, it tastes nothing like coffee, and it is very much
what does it taste like, if I may ask?
It's almost like a tea-like drink. So it really attracts a completely different set of consumers.
When you came here now for this trip,
yes,
you came for Fine Coffee exhibition, right?
African Fine Coffee, yeah.
Exhibition, right? How long has it been since you saw Addis?
2 years. So I came.
2 years?
I was here 2 years prior. Yeah.
How did you find the city?
Oh, it's exceptional. Even in the last 2 years, there's been a lot of changes.
Okay.
I'm so happy to see the way that it's progressed, and it's beautiful. I mean, there's nothing but pride for me when I come back and I see the changes and I see how it's developing, especially when you are like. In this particular case, I actually came with a delegation of 11 people from the U.S.
Okay.
And for many of them, it was their first time. So
Seeing
for me
Ethiopia.
and Africa for that matter.
Oh wow!
For me to be able to be here with them and to show them Ethiopia, and it was just a beautiful thing. It brought a lot of joy to me.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
If I will wrap up our conversations. I'll add two more questions. First is, what do you consider the key to success in any business endeavor? I mean, bearing in mind success is very different in different people's perspectives, but what was, if you can say 3 innate personal behavior skills or traits that you have were key to your success?
3, I would say, just continuously being motivated.
Okay.
Finding work that you are passionate about. You need to really, really like your job, but also like be passionate enough that it drives you every day. When you wake up in the morning, it is something that you're still very happy to be doing, and that you want to continue doing because there's still so much work to do. So that's really important.
Third?
The third, I would say, just not giving up, being able to understand how to pivot, because it will get hard.
Yeah, I know.
Right? It's not easy.
What was the hardest decision you had to make? I just wanted to interject on that.
I think the hardest decision was probably knowing what lane that I wanted to take the business in, because there was many opportunities as our business started to grow in terms of getting into different parts of the coffee industry. So opening up a retail store and having a cafe and doing other things within the industry and kind of diverting from the original plan. And for me, as much as it was something that I thought I initially wanted, I realized that wasn't the area of business that I wanted to get into. And it might be a future thing, I don't know. But for now, and I think I made the best decision, is to not go into venture off into retail and open up cafe chains, or and to stick with our business model of being a consumer packaged good and sticking with our B2B
that model, like the
B2B model.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Last question, Muna.
Yes.
What do you want to be remembered by? I know you're very young, very, like early stages of entrepreneurship, but always like there's a legacy question that every entrepreneur will always entertain in their minds. What do you want to be remembered by?
I would say someone who created impact. I think that's really important for me. Is having a business is one thing, but being able to impact multiple people and multiple lives in the process is very important for me. So, it's great to be able to provide this service and provide these products to people, but it's just as important to also be able to impact the communities that we get our coffee from.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for this early morning conversations and drive around the city. We both get to see, a beautiful sunrise right now. And guys, as I always say, driving around the city, we'll get to, conversate with our different CEOs, our entrepreneurs, giving you insights. I hope you enjoyed this conversation with Muna, founder and I think CEO, right?
CEO,
the CEO of 850 Coffee, an Ethio-Canadian businesswoman. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.